And hello everybody, welcome back to the video. Today we're back inside of Minecraft and we're going to play 400 levels parkour. And quality start. But yeah, so there's 400 levels to this. It's supposed to be just like a bunch of quick fire short levels. So considering the fact I'm already through 7 levels, I'm starting to doubt that this map will be too long. Like, obviously it's 400 levels. It's not gonna be short, but so far, starting off really easy. The 3 fails I already have is kind of embarrassing. Although the first one was just a, walk off. Oh, it's one of these cycling ones. Okay, let's go. And we're already almost through our first 20 levels. I mean, that was really quick. We're not even through a 10th of the map yet, though. So, I mean, if we can keep going at this pace, though, assuming I can actually land on this slime block. There we go. It's actually possible that I could finish the map in 20 minutes if we keep going at the same pace we have. Although that would require, very few fails off of this stuff. I'm just gonna fall off the back ladder because why not? But yeah, 400 levels. It actually works out, just hit 400 subscribers. Maybe I'll have to find a 450 level map for around 450 and etc. Although, is there even any such thing as a 1,000 levels parkour? Whoever's made 1,000 level parkour is, man, dedication, respect. This is awkward. Okay. Oh wait, can you, with the ticket damage, make it up? Maybe not. No, I don't think so. I don't think the ticket damage is enough to get you up. It might be possible. Oh, you gotta crouch and then do it. If you crouch and then jump, it gives you a little bit of an extra boost. That makes sense. I mean, it doesn't actually make sense. It's really weird. Microsoft, what's up with that? But it works. And when it works, it works. I will say, small tricks like that, like, I hate when... I hate the fact that maps like to use tricks like that aren't well known and then leave no explanation in the map. Like, I like, for example, what 4x3 did, in the fact that they had a hint book where they left the information for everything they did in a book where you can, you can use it, and if you come across something that you don't know how to do, then you can easily just reference the book. And the book will give you the information you need to go on, but then if you know how to do stuff, then you don't have to reference the book and you can just go, which I very much so like. Like, it's very much so set up in a way where, you have that extra information, but if you know a trick, you don't have to look it up. And if you don't know the trick, then you just look it up, you learn it, and next time you come across it, you can not have to figure it out then. Now, like, the thing about it is, once a trick then becomes well known, I don't really mind map creators not putting the info in their maps, because then, it's a lot easier to figure out how the trick works, especially since occasionally you'll get maps that, have a bunch of, very commonly known tricks that still leave it in. But for obscure tricks, like, just leave the information. Now, I will say that magma deal kind of walks the line for that for me, because even though I've never had to do that before, I betcha that that's a pretty well-known trick. So I'm not super concerned about them not leaving the information for that. It's probably just a matter of, you know, just one of those things that I haven't seen. I'm not everywhere. You know, I've done a lot of parkour, but, you know, that doesn't mean I've seen all the parkour tricks there are to learn. I hate how it says you're going the wrong way even when you're just going around on the parkour. Like, come on, mate. Although, I will say, I have gotten turned around on maps like this before. Though, granted, worst case scenario, you go back a level or two before it becomes insanely obvious that you're going the wrong way. Like, for example, on a level like this, if you were looking this way, there'd be no confusion about which way you're supposed to go. Wait, what? Is that an invisible block? Don't jump here. Well, I guess thanks for the tip. Still kind of toxic that you just kind of left the block there. But okay. Okay, game. That's fine. Whee! I'm guessing, this jump might be a bit more on the difficult side, because, yeah, at the peak of the jump, you're going to hit that. So you gotta maybe jump a bit earlier, or maybe you gotta just kind of land in through the side. Although that's difficult too. Wait, can't I just jump from here? Am I stupid? Sometimes I wonder. Sometimes I really wonder if I'm just stupid. Like, I look at a simple solution like that somehow I didn't notice, and, you know, makes you question. Though other times I notice tricks right away that, you know, other people miss for a while, so I don't know. It's probably just more of a degree of, you know, sometimes you get it right, sometimes you don't. It's that simple. I don't know how I feel about the, like, color scheme for the map. Like, they went for a very bland, you know, quartz look for all the walls and stuff, which is fine, you know. For a map like this that's kind of in the 100 levels format, like, it's kind of inevitable that they're going to go with the more quartz look. But that doesn't excuse them for using wool as the only block you're really parkouring on. Like, there's some creativity, please. Like, okay, I get that you were doing 450 levels, so, like, it's quite a bit of parkour. Or not 450, 400. But based off of the first 100 or so, which we're not quite to that point. Okay, based off of the first 100, like, yeah, they're short levels. Like, it's 400 levels, but I played maps that I'm guessing so far are much longer than this one's going to end up having been by the end. So it's like, you know, you could put a bit more effort into your map. I also, you know, like, okay, it's 400 levels and you're going for a simple style. That's fine. I just don't really care for the way the wool looks for it. I feel like you could have at the very least just added some other blocks in that aren't wool for just the basic parkour. But I guess it does make it obvious when there's something special you have to do. Just because everything's wool for the most part. Some of these levels are insanely easy, though. And some of them, like, feel a bit difficult for the point of the map. Like, there's very much so a bit of wave in difficulty. Like, the difficulty starts to go up a bit, and then you hit a point and it like plummets back down, then it starts to slowly climb again. And that level wasn't difficult, but I failed it quite a few times. But yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know how to put it, but just think of a graph with a bunch of slow climbs up and a bunch of plummets down. That's kind of how the difficulty feels. Like levels like that just might as well not exist, and then, you know, it goes slightly up with the 3 blocks, one up. It's got another one of those. And you get this level, which is insanely easy. Then I hit the wall. That level, which was really easy. Now we got cactus jumps, which, I don't know. Cactus jumps, I always feel like they're overrated difficulty-wise. Like, the only reason why I really fail on cactus jumps is just because I always feel a bit underwhelmed by them and sometimes start going a bit quickly. Whoa. And the damage ticks can be weird with hitting you up and stuff. And of course, you know, I said something about the cactus jumps being easy, so of course, you know, had to struggle with them. But yeah, like, I always feel like people that consider cactus jumps really difficult are a bit, you know, it just, they're not that hard. They're, you know, it can be a bit weird to deal with the slightly smaller blocks and the damage ticks you get off of them. But as long as you just time the damage ticks, it's pretty simple. Okay. Bam. Level 152. We're almost halfway through, and we're only 12 minutes in for 400 levels. It's kind of, frankly, disappointing. I think I'm going to set the typical time thing I do. Like, typically it's 25 minutes or 30 minutes that I set. I think this time we're going to say, you know, 25 minutes. You know, once we hit that point, I'll probably call it. I like to have kind of a time frame for the videos, like a bit of a short time frame for these really long ones that are just kind of, oh, I need to put this up. But yeah, for these really long maps that are really repetitive, I like to just kind of set a time limit because it's like, you know, a bunch more of the same is usually all that's at the end of it. And it can be nice to go through the entire thing. Oh, water, yuck. Just from the standpoint of sometimes people struggle with the stuff later in the map and will come look up videos to figure out how to beat it, to, you know, see somebody beat the map and figure out how to do it. But yeah, I don't know. What? Oh, I'm guessing there's a tag saying don't jump here or whatever. I don't know. I don't mind stuff like that as much as long as they leave some note that, you know, it's like, don't jump here. But yeah, because what frustrates me the most in parkour is when map creators purposely set up stuff that you can't beat first try without prior knowledge of how it's set up. That's part of why I hate invisible blocks and stuff like that, because one of the most satisfying things to me in parkour is getting through a level first try, just momentuming through and going quickly, like I have with these last couple levels. That's one of the most satisfying things in parkour, in my opinion. So one of the worst things you can do is set up a map in a way where, you know, the most satisfying aspect of parkour can't be achieved. Is there a vine? Yeah, there's a vine. Like, it feels like you're just kind of, you know, shooting yourself in the foot in terms of how people will enjoy the map. Because there's something really fun about, you know, going through first try, being able to feel like you're good at parkour. And, you know, it makes moments like this where you're failing on a stinking easy jump. It makes them a little less painful. Just because you know that you know, did some stuff that makes you feel good about how you were playing earlier. I heard that stinking turtle egg break behind me. It was nice knowing you, Mr. Turtle Egg. Although, fun fact, for those of you who weren't aware, because I don't know if the obnoxious thing pops up if you haven't had your Mojang account transferred to a Microsoft account yet, but Microsoft is now trying to push us all onto a new launcher. I haven't actually installed the launcher yet, or even taken a look at it, because I'm not super interested in switching for it. And also, even if I wanted to, I'm currently, you know, for all my Windows Store stuff, signed in with a different Microsoft account than I am with my Minecraft account. So, like, I don't really want to deal with all that nonsense. Definitely not looking forward to it, especially since I have Game Pass on my account that I'm using Windows Store for right now, because a friend gave me a couple months free for it because they had a code for it or whatever and didn't want it. So, you know, the account that I'm signed in on has, you know, Minecraft through Game Pass. And fun fact for people who don't know, but Game Pass is a nightmare when it comes to save games. Like, they force you pretty much to leave all of your save games online instead of keeping any of them local. And if you want to play offline, even if they let you open it, which most of the time they're just like, nah, you're offline, you can't open the games. But even if they do let you open it, then they're like, you know, they don't, you can't access any of your saves because they're all in the cloud, and whatever progress you do offline doesn't save. It all gets deleted once you get back in. Like, it's a horrid setup. Like, it's nice because you get so many games for free, but because the single player games are so unplayable due to the save game factor, it really, I don't know, it hurts Game Pass a lot, in my opinion. Like, my initial impression of Game Pass, just looking at the amount of games on it, and since I was at first only downloaded games I was planning on playing with friends and stuff like that, I didn't notice or mind. And then I was trying to play Riftbreaker, which is a game I had played the prologue for before the game had come out, because, you know, they had the free prologue that you could play before the game was released, and I had a ton of fun with it and was kind of excited for the release, but didn't end up getting it when it came out. And I saw it on Game Pass, was like, oh, this is great. But every time I opened the game through Game Pass, it wouldn't sync to my Xbox account for the save games, but it would it won't let you save locally either. So I was just in this position where I couldn't play the game because it just wouldn't let me play it, and it was really frustrating. So it's like, you know, it's cool and all for multiplayer games, but one of the problems with a lot of the pass systems is they're very much so set up to try and prevent you from still being able to play offline. Because if you can play offline, then, you know, even once your pass expires, you can continue to play. So they're set up to prevent you from playing offline. But because you can, they're set to try and prevent that. It ruins, single player gaming, because one of the great things about single player gaming is even when you're offline you can play. Like, I have multiple games installed on my computer that the only time I play them is when the internet goes out. And that's the whole point of having them installed is, I like to play them when the internet goes out. And the Rift Breaker would 100% be one of those sort of games for me. But even if I wanted to, even if I got it working, all the game saves would be on the cloud anyway. So it's just like, it's such a nightmare. And like, the simple solution would just be to go, all right, worst case scenario, people manage to continue to play the game offline. Boo-hoo. I mean, it still is set up in a way where, to get the full experience out of most of the games that you're getting with the pass, since a lot of them are multiplayer oriented games and games that, are going to have frequent updates and stuff. To get the most out of the game, you're going to have to continue to renew your pass, whether to get an update or to, play online. So you shouldn't have to pull all this nonsense just to try to prevent people from playing their games offline. Like, just accept that some people will go around your system and play them offline, but that it'll be and will manage to not renew the pass and be able to play some of your games offline. Boo-hoo. And just let people be. And what you could even do with that is you can make it a choice for the content creators, the ones that actually make the games. So then that way, you can still appease the companies that, would be like the Bethesda sort of companies that really aren't that, stand up of companies. Like, that probably wouldn't in any way want to have people be able to get away with that. They would probably, want it set up that way. So you let the companies choose. That way, when a company like Bethesda wants to pull that nonsense, you let them take the blame and fallout for it. And then other companies that, actually care about their fan bases can, let their players actually play their games offline. And ultimately, all of this comes back to why Game Pass as a system doesn't work great, because you don't get to keep the games. Like, once it's over, you lose all the games. Like, as a subscription service, something like Humble Bundle's much better, because you can, keep all of your games. Is there somewhere? Oh. You can keep all of your games even after your subscription, because they're all on your Steam account now. And you can obviously play them offline, no problem at all. So I feel like that works just so much better as a monthly subscription service. Whoa, that's trippy. Oh, went too far. Just, that's my opinion. Some people might disagree with me and prefer the Game Pass system, especially since, it gives this sort of like Netflix style where you can just kind of sit down and be like, all right, what am I gonna watch/play today, and have a ton of games at your fingertips to choose. But like, even in that situation, I'd rather pay for Humble Bundle. In a couple months, if you get a year subscription to Humble Bundle, by the end of it, you're going to have over 100 games sitting in your Steam account anyway. Game Pass only comes with a couple hundred games, so it's like, ultimately you're going to end up in a similar spot for game quantity anyway. And it works out for me, because the sort of games that I find myself enjoying typically aren't the, AAA games that there's a bunch of hype for before release and stuff like that. Like, I find myself much more enjoying games that, you know, typically have much quieter releases and end up getting popular afterwards because it's a good game without any emphasis put on the hype really before the game. But part of that's just because I enjoy strategy games a lot, and strategy games tend to not come with a lot of hype. And the ones that do come with a lot of hype are like your Civilization type games that are normally pretty bad. Like Civilization, in my opinion, is a bit of an overrated franchise in recent years. Like, it was a really good franchise. You know, like Civ 3 was absolutely amazing, if really difficult. You know, Civ 4, it was alright. It wasn't too bad. I kind of enjoyed Civ 4. I feel like Civ 4 Revolution was a more fun game for me than Civ 4. But I also played Civ 4 Revolution as, you know, a kid, and Civ 4 itself was a game I came back to later to play. So, you know, might be a bit of conflict of interest there. But yeah. Civilization 5, though, was really bad. Civilization 6, same thing. And Civilization, what was it? What was the one that was on all the consoles and stuff? That one, like, the problem with that one was it was too easy. Oh my goodness, this is a pain. Like, a game like that, like a game like Civilization, is fun when it makes you think. Also, this is painful. But yeah, like what makes the game fun is you having to, you know, think about your decisions and make the right choices to be able to go anywhere and have a challenge getting there. I'm very scared of this iron. Oh, it's just so far. But, like, whichever one was for all the consoles and stuff was just way too easy. It's like Civilization, I seriously can't remember the name of it. But yeah, like, I never had any difficulty playing that game, and pretty much always won anytime I played. Granted, with any game, I typically play on normal difficulty, just because I'm looking for something that, you know, you don't have, like, just a sit-back time, super easy, but at the same time, it's not, like, overly difficult to the point that you're going to suffer through it. Like, that's kind of the difficulty level I like, so, you know, for games like Civilization, I typically play on normal. But yeah, the franchise itself is overrated as of late, and I feel like it's just because the first couple games were so legendary that everybody hasn't gotten over the hype of those couple games, in my opinion. And yeah. But yeah, this was a weird conversation back and forth. I am going to say, with this map, it got way too easy later in the map. Like, my word, where did the difficulty go? At least the start had some... Oh, well, that's toxic. At least the start of the map had some semi-difficulty. The end was just... I don't know. 151 fails in 28 minutes, 39 seconds. I kind of want to see if I could beat that in under 20 minutes, but that's a story for another time. Okay, well. Anyway, guys, guess I'm gonna have to end this one in spectator mode. I would like to thank you all so much for watching. It's like full on Ghost of Riptide stuff. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. God bless. Bye bye.